Welcome back to your mat. We're going to do a nice little feel-good flow today. So moving around and enjoying the movement with your breath guiding the movement. So let's start in a seated position. Easy cross-leg pose. Take a few moments just to feel your head and your shoulders stack over your hips. You can feel your ears over your shoulders, over your hips. You can feel the back of your head over the back of your heart, over the back of your sacrum. Feel the weight evenly balanced in your two sit bones. And then we're going to take the next 3 rounds of breath slow and steady. Big stretch up, inhale with your arms stretching. Exhale, pull your hands down to heart center. Using these 3 breaths to sync up your breath and your movement. Again, reach your arms out and up. Big stretch. You can look up. And then exhale, pull your hands back into your heart. Nice and slow. So starting to set that pace. Movement matches your breath. 1 more. Inhale slowly. Reach. Look up. Exhale. Pull your hands back down slowly. And feel that pace, that cadence that you're setting with your breath. When you're ready, you can move this over into tabletop. If you need another round of breath or 2, please take your time. When you do move into tabletop pose, stack those shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees and begin the movement and stick with that pace that you've established with those breathing, breath-guided movement stretches. In cat-cow, you can start to move forward and back. Find a place maybe to stay and just settle in and check it out. If you want your toes tucked under or your feet flipped back. And if you're finding a place to settle into, even in that place, you might find a little side-to-side wiggle or another way that you can move and get into some deeper little nooks and crannies. And take as long as you'd like here to prepare your wrists, your shoulders, your hips, and your knees for downward facing dog, especially your wrists and your shoulders, your arms. So get them warmed up as long as you need. And when you're ready, you can start to lift your knees and press your arms to straight, lifting your knees up, pressing your legs towards straight. Let your head hang. And then once you find that shape of downward facing dog, again, here you can take those little movements side to side, front to back. The movements, again, are matching that breath rate, the cadence that you established at the beginning of class. Roll forward into plank pose when you're ready on your next inhale. And here in plank pose, same thing. Maybe you start to move side to side, forward and back, finding that sweet little balance point where you feel enough work, but not too much in plank. You feel steady and confident and at ease. And that might mean the knees down on the floor. Okay, with your next exhale, up and back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press those hips back, press those arms to straight, and then float your right leg up with your next inhale. Use your exhale, squeeze your knee into your chest, step your right foot up to the top of your mat, and lunge here on your fingers. Keep the left leg straight, bend your right knee, and then open your chest over your right knee, look up. That's your inhale. With your exhale, you're going to fold over your front leg as it starts to straighten out a little bit or a lot. You drape your body over your leg and exhale completely. And then your inhale rebends your right knee and opens your chest up beyond your knee. Exhale, fold and drape your body over your right leg. Drop that chin in. 1 more. Inhale, bend your knee open. With your exhale, fold. And now this time we're going to twist, bend your right knee. Exhale, twist open. Stretch your right arm up to the ceiling. Lean back as far as you'd like. And then release your right hand down with an inhale and step back with an exhale into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a nice big smooth round of breath here. Lift that left leg up. Exhale, squeeze your left knee. into your chest. Left foot steps up. Start with that lunge on fingers, stretching your chest out over your leg. Exhale to fold over that left leg as it straightens just to where it can comfortably go. And keep the right heel lifted for now. We're just going for an easy stretch. Rebend your left knee, open your chest, inhale. Exhale, fold over your left leg, drape your body over your left leg. Tuck that chin in. You'll fire up those back muscles when you tuck that chin in. Bend your left knee again, extend your spine, open your chest. And exhale, fold over your left leg, round out your spine a little bit. All right, so here we're going to twist, bend your left knee, right hand stays on the floor, left arm stretches up, exhale. Lean back as far as you'd like. And let that left hand come down on your next inhale. Set those two hands so that your left foot can step back. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big inhale here and a smooth exhale. When you're ready, inhale into plank pose. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and then stretch your toes back. Lift your thumbs, lift your chest, lift your chin, open your heart up to the ceiling. And here you might even want to roll around a little bit, especially for the first one, to get those shoulders to open up gently. And release on your exhale. Hands come back next to your waist. Move back up to downward facing dog, coming over your knees and then over your toes. Straightening those arms out and pressing your knees up and back behind you. Lift those sit bones up as well. Smooth breath. Right leg, lift up. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your right knee into your chest. Step forward. Inhale, push down into both feet, high lunge, reach your arms. You're going to twist to your right, staying upright. So your right hand's going to move back and your left arm forward as you twist your upper body, keeping the lunge shape on the lower part. Inhale, untwist. And then open your arms and set your left heel down for Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana B. And now you've opened your body to the left side of the room. Inhale, reverse warrior, stretch up and back. Keep that right knee bent as you exhale. Land on your thigh with your right elbow and stretch your left arm overhead, side angle. Push, push with that left foot. Inhale, back up, Warrior Two. Straighten your right leg, stretch your arms up. And then exhale, rebend your right knee. Sink even lower this time if you can. Now again, inhale, big stretch up, straighten your right leg, reach your arms. Exhale, sink a little lower, Warrior Two. Keep pushing back with that left foot. One more. Inhale, stretch your right leg, reach your arms. Exhale, Warrior Two. Sit your hips down evenly. Soften your shoulders. Take another breath. And then when you're ready, hands to the mat and step back, downward facing dog as you exhale. Big breath here, finding balance between your feet and your hands. Grounding here. All right, because you're going to split your left leg up now. Inhale. And then exhale, pull your left knee into your chest. Step your left foot forward. Get your high lunge set up with your balance. Inhale when you're ready, reach your arms. All right, so this time you're going to twist to your left. Left arm back, right hand forward, twisting your upper torso. Inhale, untwist, right heel turns down. Now open your body to the right side of the room. Warrior Two, open your arms. Keep that left knee bent, reverse warrior, inhale. Exhale, side angle, left elbow pushes that left thigh away. Stretch your right arm up overhead and press back through your right heel. Come back up into Warrior Two, and as you do, press that left leg straight and reach your arms up, big inhale. Exhale, rebend. Challenge the Warrior Two since you're only going to be here for a breath. And then you get a break. Press your left leg straight, reach. Exhale, deepen even more. Again, inhale, stretch, give it a break. And then challenge, exhale, sink. Just feel the movement, feel the pose as you move in and out of it. When you're ready, hands to the floor. And take an extra breath or two there if you like, if it's feeling good. But downward facing dog, as you're ready to move out of that standing pose. Catch your breath here for just a moment. Use your inhale to roll forward into plank pose. Chaturanga, exhale, lower down. Again, hands behind your back, interlace those fingers, lift your elbows, lift your thumbs. Press your toes back and see if you can keep your feet on the floor. Slowly lower down, place your palms next to your waist, and then again roll up over your knees and your toes for downward facing dog. As you exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, drop that chin, drop your head, lift your hips. All right, we're going to move into side plank next. Come forward into plank pose, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Either your right knee can lower down, or you can keep your right leg straight and start to turn over to your right foot and right hand. You could use your left leg as a kickstand as well. Stretch your left arm straight up to the ceiling and push down into the heel of your right hand. Good. Inhale back over into plank. Exhale, side plank, left side. Left knee can come down, or your left leg can stay straight. Press into the heel of your left hand, and try not to rainbow the shape of the side plank too much. So drive that left hip down slightly. And then as you're ready, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, nice and slow. Again, point your toes back. Interlace your fingers if it's possible. If not, you can always have your hands open and just stretch your arms out to the side of the room or up behind you. Big lift. Lower down. Exhale. Take your hands next to your waist. Again, press up and back over your knees, over your toes. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take as long as you need here, and if you need to catch up later, please do. Child's pose is also a great place to pause and ground. When you're ready, right leg, split it up. Inhale, big stretch. Exhale as you pull your knee into your chest. Step that foot forward, right into warrior two this time. So left heel goes down, and then you lift up and open your arms. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep the right knee bent. Stretch up and back with your right hand. And as you straighten your right leg, exhale into Trikonasana. Right hand can come down to your shin or your ankle, and then really press up with that left arm. Press back with your left foot and lengthen your head forward. Right. Bend your right knee. Inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Straighten your right leg, big stretch, and then exhale, rebend your right knee. Reverse warrior, inhale. Side angle, exhale, push your thigh away with your right elbow and press your left arm out away from your left foot, pressing back. Good. Sweep that left arm down and then inhale, circle both arms up to the ceiling. Warrior one, lifting your chest. Hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Keep that right knee bent. Exhale, fold humble warrior, either down over your thigh or down inside your right thigh. Maybe the right knee needs to kind of push out to the side a little bit to allow for that to happen. And your right hip can also move out to the side. Round your spine here if it feels good. With your inhale, release your hands down to the floor and step back with your exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Always taking a moment in this pose to ground whenever you need. So between the movements, I like to just take a nice full round of breath before side two. Lift your left leg, inhale. Squeeze your knee through as you step up, exhale. Right foot down. Arms up and open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, flip it up and back. Straighten your left leg now, triangle on the left side. Left hand can come to your shin or your ankle or the floor block. Right hand stretches up to the ceiling. Lengthen the left side of your body out a little bit more here if you can. With your next inhale, bend that left knee in the line of your second toe and then lift your arms, warrior two. Press your left leg straight, stretch your arms up to the ceiling. And exhale, rebend your left knee, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Side angle, exhale, left elbow to your thigh, right arm presses. And then again, we're going to move into the warrior one shape. So that right arm circles down and up, catching your left arm on the way. Both arms reach up, warrior one. Keep that left knee bent, right foot pressing back, hands behind, interlace your fingers. Inhale and exhale, bow or fold. Drive back with that right heel. Drive down with your left heel. And when you're ready, your hands can come back down to the floor so you can step right back into plank pose or downward facing dog. I like down dog. Again, it's that moment of grounding. It just feels better for my mind and my body. So do what feels good to you. And catch another breath here, wherever you are, if you're moving or if you're resting. One more big lift up here. Stretch up that right leg. Inhale. Squeeze your knee into your chest. Step your right foot forward. High lunge. Ashtha Chandrasana. Find your balance on your left toes and your right foot. And then as you exhale, twist to your right. Hook your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. You could always take your left hand down to the floor inside of your right foot. Inhale, untwist, and reach your arms back up to the ceiling. We're going to move up into a balancing pose. So now start to push your weight into your right foot and step up with your left leg. Squeeze your left knee up to the ceiling. Catch your left hand into your left foot and push your left foot into your right thigh. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. You can reach your arms. One more big breath here. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your left foot and start to step it back to the back of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms back up, high lunge, Ashtha Chandrasana. Exhale, hands to the mat, and reach that right leg back up behind you. Sweep it up, three-leg dog, big stretch. You can bend the knee, open your hip, shake it out as you feel it's necessary, and then lower your right leg down when you're ready. Downward facing dog. Big breath in, smooth breath out, and as you're ready, left leg lifts up, side two. Exhale, squeeze your knee into your chest. All right, power up that right leg so you can bend that left knee and reach your arms up, high lunge. Feel a steady base, steady foundation, so you can exhale, twist right elbow to left thigh or right hand to the floor inside your left foot. Spin your left ribs up to the ceiling, maybe even your gaze up to the ceiling. All right, inhale, untwist. Find your balance slowly, reach your arms back up. And here we're going to transition into that standing balance pose. Shift your weight into your left foot, pull your right knee through and up. Catch right hand to right foot and stick your right foot inside your left thigh. Squeeze in to your right foot with your outer left thigh and then reach your arms up. And press down into your left heel. Breathe into your back. Breathe into your low back area. And then a slow transition back to your lunge. So swoop that right foot back. Lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Open your chest. Big stretch. Then exhale, hands down, and sweep your left leg up and back and stretch it out. If you want to bend your knee, if you want to move your foot around a little bit. Lower your left leg down as you're ready. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale. And another round or two of breath here. Just again, so you can feel grounded. When you're ready, you can step up or hop up to the top of your mat and fold over your legs. Take as long as you'd like here. We're going to move into fierce pose, Utkatasana. So just another breath or two here as you need. Situate your feet for your most comfortable fierce pose and bend your knees. Reach your arms up, Utkatasana. Sitting towards your heels with your butt, twist to the right. So as you hook your left elbow on the outer right thigh, push into your arm with your thigh so your hips don't shift. When you're ready, inhale, untwist, reach your arms. Fierce pose. Nice back bend here. And then on your exhale, twist. And you can feel that back bend twist change into a twist. It morphs into a twist. Right elbow hooks your left thigh. And again, press into the left, press left leg into the right arm. And as you're ready, big inhale, untwist, reach your arms, fierce pose, straighten your legs, and let your arms relax down to your side, Samastitihi, standing pose. Take your hands behind your back here, interlace your fingers, big inhale, stretch up. Exhale, as you fold, you might want to bend your knees. So I'm going to bend my knees, let my belly kind of come to my thighs, and then straighten legs and fold so arms can drop overhead. So that's not a shock to any joint. Chin towards chest, sit bones towards ceiling, and arms towards the floor. Okay, release your hands back down to the floor, past the floor, and inhale, rebend your knees, reach your hands back up, fierce pose. Gonna wrap up the right arm under your left arm for Eagle Garudasana. So right arm is under left, which means right leg is over left. So the same side arm and leg are wrapping. If you can hook your right toes behind your left calf, fine. If not, just squeeze the outer ankle to your outer left thigh, outer left shin rather. Lift your elbows, sit down with your hips. And unwrap. Lift your right knee up and swing it back behind you. Unwrap your arms. Hopefully at this point, you've already done that. High lunge with your left leg at the front of your mat. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Start to straighten out your left leg and fold down to the floor. Once your hands get there, you feel better in your balance. We're going to twist. So keep your right heel lifted. Push into the floor with your right hand and twist your left arm up to the ceiling. Go for a big, big, long, tall spine here. This is a great feeling pose to me, so if you want to stay longer, please do. When you're ready, rebend that left knee, plant your palms, and sweep up that left leg, stretch it out. Give it a nice little shake out. You can lower your left leg when you're ready. Downward facing dog, exhale. Couple breaths here. When you're ready, inhale, plank pose. Chaturanga, exhale, lower down. Point those toes back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your thumbs, lift your arms, lift your chest. Exhale to come out of it. Hands back next to your waist. Press up and back into downward facing dog. Exhale. All right, one more breath here. Nice big press up with your sit bones. Smooth out that exhale. Use your next inhale to look forward and step or hop up. Fold over your legs. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Take your left arm under your right arm this time. Left leg on top of your right leg, Garudasana, eagle. Again, if you can hook your left toes without knee pain, that's fine, but don't force it. Right knee points straight forward, the left knee off to the side. Lift your elbows and sit a little bit more into that right ankle. And then before we transition back to your high lunge, unwrap your arms, unwrap your leg, and left leg shoots back. Maybe your hands touch down for balance. When you're ready, then reach your arms up, high lunge. Big stretch. And then your right leg will straighten out as you teeter over your right leg into a forward bend. Here we're going to twist. Left hand on the floor, keep your left heel lifted, and then start to stretch your right arm up to the ceiling. And again, stay here as long as you like. This is also a great pose to play with any dynamic movement. So if you want to circle your right arm around, please feel free to play with any movement here. This is your practice. Make it feel good. Sweep that right leg up when you're ready. Big stretch out. 3-leg dog. And a slow lower of the right leg down to the floor. Downward facing dog, grounding between all 4 corners of your mat and of your body. We're going to come down to the belly for a little back bend. Inhale into plank pose. Lower down slowly. Bend your knees. Catch your hands to your feet. And then press your feet back to lift your shoulders up. So keep pressing your feet back to pull your shoulders back over your ribs. Lift your chin, lift your chest, open your heart. And feel free to lower and lift, lower and lift. This could definitely be a dynamic bow pose. Sometimes that just feels better. When you're ready to be done with that, be done with it and lower out of it. Press back up to hands and knees. All right, situate your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. We'll take a spinal balance here. Left leg lifts up and back, right hand stretches out forward like you're shaking someone's hand. Press back with your left foot, press forward with your right hand. Just give yourself a moment here to release that back from the back bend and engage your core. And let's switch sides. Lower your knee and hand down. Left hand forward, right leg back. Spinal balance, Chakravakasana. And then when you're ready, lower your left hand and right knee down. And then sit your hips back towards your heels for child's pose to give your back a nice little stretch. Walk your hands forward so your forehead can rest comfortably on the ground. Take as long as you'd like here. This is a great place to check in and let anything settle that needs to settle. When you're ready, we'll move into pigeon stretch. So from downward facing dog, take a big breath. Settle in your dog. Lift your right leg with your inhale and squeeze your right knee into your chest. Kneel between your hands with your right knee and then come down to the floor with your left knee and your left hip behind your right heel. Press back through your left toes. Inhale, lift your chest, open your heart, and slowly make your way to your elbows in a forward bend. You can drop your chin slightly, but keep pressing back with your left foot. And keep that left big toe pointing straight back. Come back up to an inhale, back up to your fingertips, up to a little bit of a back bend. And if you can, add in a quad stretch. You can catch your left hand to your left foot and either make the contact and create a quad stretch that way, or if you need a little bit more, you can press your hand down onto your foot and gently press your left heel towards your left hip. Keep the right knee pointing straight forward and use your right hand on the floor for balance. All right, release that left leg nice and slow. Let it come back down. And then again here, ease yourself forward to your elbows just to neutralize that back bend. And come up to seated and move into Janu Shirshasana. Use your inhale to roll over to your right hip and sweep your left leg around in front. Right foot is inside of your left leg. And then exhale, fold out over your left leg. Let your right knee point out away from you. Pat it up if you need. You can put something underneath the outer right thigh to help support it. Another breath or two here. Hopefully they are accompanied by some sense of relaxation and softening into this posture. And when you're ready, you can inhale, lift up, and you'll sweep your left leg back around one more time for that pigeon shape, one leg king pigeon. Big inhale here. If you want to open your heart here, a little bit more of a back bend, you're welcome to. And then exhale back to your elbows one more time. So from this position, I'm going to move into a dolphin shape. You can come back to closer back to the end of your mat with your legs so that you can get your forearms completely on your mat. And once you get your forearms on your mat, spread out your fingertips. Shoulders are over your elbows. You might have to crawl your left foot forward a little bit in order to make space to pull your right leg out and step back into dolphin pose, where you could then bend your knees, move around side to side, forward and back. I like my shoulders a little closer to my elbows so it's not a giant strain on the tops of my shoulders, and instead I want to work the shoulder girdle strength. This is a beautiful inversion that is a great substitution for headstand, and it still does the work, but it's a lot less stressful. And this one's a good one to hold for at least 5 breaths, so if you've got the juice to hold it for another breath or two, please do. And then when you're ready, lower your knees down and situate your hands back on the floor for downward facing dog. Left leg on your next inhale, lift it up. Left knee into the top of your mat for Ekapada Raj Kapotasana, one leg king pigeon, and this is the prep. So we're going to take a little bit of an inhale here, nice lift, and then exhale down to your elbows. Give your left hip some time to open up into the shape. Keep stretching back with your right big toe. Take as long as you need here before moving on to the quad stretch. So that left hip might be tighter than the right hip and vice versa. So if one side needs longer, take as long as you need. But when you're ready, you can start to walk back upright. And this in itself is a back bend. So maybe that's enough. You don't need to catch your right hand to foot. But if you can take that quad stretch. And if you need, you can gently start to spin your palm on the top of your foot and press your right heel towards your right hip. The right knee should be pointing straight back and not moving out to the side. Left hand on the floor for balance. Keep pressing down into your left shin as well for balance. All right, and then slowly let go of that right foot. Let it land back on the floor gently. And then your elbows back down on the mat. Just for another forward bend here. Drop your chin, lengthen out your neck, and release the back bend. And then to come into Janu Shirshasana, roll over to your left hip, swing your right leg around front, situate your left foot up in your right thigh, press out with your left knee, fire up your right leg, just a little, the top of your right thigh, and exhale softly out over your right leg. Let your forehead rest. If you've got a block or a cushion you can use, then pat up your forehead. Or if you need it under your outer leg, pad that guy up. The left leg, that is. When you're ready, use your inhale to come back up to seated and swing your right leg around again to pigeon. Resituate your left knee to point forward. Come back down to your elbows. Ekapada Raj Kapotasana, prep. All right, so here again, I'm going to move into that dolphin shape. So if you need to kind of crawl your right knee up a little bit so your right toes move forward, that way you can lift your left leg out and stick it back next to your right in dolphin pose. Lift those hips even higher here. Your head just hangs over the floor. You can even drop the crown of your head to hover over the floor more, or you could look up towards your elbows. Depends on what feels better in your neck. And again, take a couple extra longer breaths here if you can, especially the second time around. Your shoulders might be a little warmer, legs a little bit more open, so you can enjoy this inversion for a beat or two longer. Before you come down to your knees, you might want to wiggle your feet back a little farther to give yourself some room to lower your knees down. And then I'm going to split my feet apart so I can sit down between my heels for Virasana. If hero pose is too intense on your knees, you can definitely sit on top of your heels with your feet together, or sit on a block between your feet. Take your head back over your hips, shoulders back over your hips, and relax your toes behind you, relax your shins, relax your legs. From here, your inhale is going to lift you up into camel. So I'm going to take my knees apart first, then hands on heels, and then push on up, roll up into Ustrasana. Hands could come up a little higher if you need on the backs of your hamstrings or on the low back. Keep your neck engaged so your head isn't flopping around, and you can hold your head up here. Inhale to lift up out of this. I'm just going to come to seated. So I'm just going to cross my ankles and sit back down. Use your hands on the floor to help that transition be smooth. Take an easy seated position for just a moment to let go of that back bend. All right, let's take a twist. Stretch out your left leg and hook your right foot on the outside of your left thigh. Use your left elbow to hug or hook your right knee. Land on your right fingertips behind you for balance. And then inhale, lift your chest and twist to the right. Turn your gaze wherever it feels best for your spine. So if you want to look forward over your left shoulder or back over your right shoulder or somewhere in between, it should just feel good. So maybe you need to move around and see. All right, take as long as you'd like here. When you're ready, untwist. Straighten out your legs in front of you and exhale. Gently fold into a very easy, very relaxing forward bend. Just here for another moment or two, simply to remove the twist from the first side so that when you move into the second side twist, there's none left over. Nice fresh twist. When you're ready, inhale, come up to seated. And then you're going to hook your left leg on the outside of your right thigh. Your right arm now is going to hug or hook your left leg. Left fingertips behind on the floor. Separate your collarbones. Lift your back up longer. And then again, where do you want your head to go? Your left foot does not need to be anything other than just wherever it needs to be. So maybe your left knee needs to open out a little bit. Maybe your foot needs to walk down a little bit more. So again, let these poses feel good and just allow the movement to guide you into the best shape for your body. Okay, and when you're ready, untwist and fold out over both legs. Paschimottanasana. I'll take one more big breath here. Using your inhale, start to come up to seated. And move into boat pose, Pariparnavasana. Your hands can stay behind you. And that keeps your shoulders open, that keeps your back lifted. You could keep your knees bent, or you could straighten your legs. And then if you'd like, you can reach your arms forward, lift your chest, open your heart, and then lower down to half boat, Ardha Navasana with an exhale. Inhale, lift back up, boat. You can bend your knees or use your hands to help. Exhale, roll back down to your sacrum. Head and shoulders stay off the floor, feet stay up, arms are reaching, chin towards chest. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, roll down nice and slow, half boat. Now start to bend your knees into your chest and lower your shoulders and head down onto the floor, nice and slow. Apanasana. Hug knees to chest. All right, let's ease into a hip opener. So let your left foot come down to the floor and then catch your right leg in a hook of any sort, like a little leg baby cradling like a half fire log shape. So I've got my left elbow hooking my right foot and my right elbow hooking my right knee. You can grab underneath your leg. You can grab just your foot. It could be happy baby if that's better. An elbow hook underneath your calf, or a hand grab to that right foot for a half happy baby shape. So something to open up your right hip. And you can move it around. You can rock it around side to side. Let your shoulders, though, rest on the ground and your head is softly resting on the floor. Okay, now grab your right hand to your right foot and straighten out your right leg into Supta Padangusthasana B version. So your left leg straightens out and your right leg is coming out towards the floor, pulling it up as high as you can get it. Keep your left hip on the floor. Okay, pull your right knee back in, right foot to the floor. And we'll switch sides. Take a moment in constructive rest to let both feet rest on the floor as long as you need. And when you're ready, pull that left foot up. Take that left leg into a nice hip opener. So something that resembles a fire log shape or a leg baby shape. Hook elbows around the left knee and left foot, or hook your elbows under your calf. Your hips could pop up here too. So that's why I like the right foot on the floor. So your right foot can push and lift your hips up as needed. And any movement is fine. Also, stillness is fine. Sometimes you need one over the other. And then we'll slowly transition into that stretch. Start to pull your left leg out to straight. Right leg straightens out on the floor. And then you pull that left foot over and up towards the floor. Keep your right hip down, creating a nice big split here. Check in and make sure you're not driving your head into the floor too hard there. It's gentle. Release your left leg, both feet to the floor now, and some windshield wipers side to side, nice and slow. Okay. You're going to come up into bridge pose. Situate your feet on your mat. Widen your feet out if you know that back bends are really tight for your low back. Once you get your hips up, you can start to take your shoulders closer underneath your body and maybe even interlace your fingers. Press equally into 2 feet and 2 shoulders. Again, the back of your head is just gently resting on the ground. Make sure there's space between your chin and your chest, but your chest is just kind of wanting to get closer to your chin. All right, release your arms, release your shoulders, and roll back down. And again, those windshield wipers side to side, nice and slow. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself an easy little squeeze so it's not too forceful. A little rock and roll side to side often feels good here. Test it out. See how it feels for you. I'm going to take another back bend. So you're welcome to skip this back bend. You're welcome to revisit bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Hands on the floor under your shoulders, pressing up to hands and feet. And I only stay here for a couple breaths. I'm not here very long. It is what it is. You can't push your body to do something it can't do, right? Or stay longer than your body wants to be in it. Make sure you can breathe here and stay as long as you like. When you're ready, lower down slowly. Once you get your hips back to the floor, again, nice little movement side to side, especially with your head this time. So side to side with your head, side to side with your knees, windshield wipers. All right, so once your knees fall over to your left, you can stay in a twist. I like to hook my left ankle on top of my outer right knee. The left ankle is just gently pressing the inner right knee down towards the floor. And then I also like to put something underneath the outside of my left knee, so you can use your fist here, or if you have a block or a pillow or a blanket. This just gives the outer right hip a wonderful stretch, and then into that low back, releases that back bend. All right, unhook your ankle and then back to the floor with your feet for your windshield wipers. A couple times on each side. And then once you drop your legs over to the right, when you're ready, hook your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And again, pat up your right knee if you want with your fist or a pillow. And then just gently press the inner left knee down towards the floor. It's not really going to get to the floor. So if you want an extra block under your inner left knee, that might be safer for your knees. But we're not pushing them down to the floor. The gauge is the low back and the left hip. That's how far you should know to stop pushing when you feel that sensation in your left hip or low back fire up too much. All right, come back out of your twist, feet on the floor, and then again, knees side to side, windshield wipers. Hug your knees in, give yourself one more big, nice, juicy little squeeze there. I'm going to stretch this right out into Shavasana, but if you want any additional stretches, happy baby or another forward bend, work into Shavasana slowly and at your own pace. But when you do get there, see if you can let go in a few more places, and over the next few breaths, allow the letting go to happen. Draw in a deep inhale, a nice slow exhale, and feel your head drop into the floor, feel your face soften, your jaw. And another big inhale. Feel with your exhale, your shoulders release down, your arms and your hands relax. Another big inhale from your belly. And then with your exhale, feel your core soften, your chest and your back, connecting to the ground, to your mat. Another nice smooth inhale to begin the exhale, to let go of your hips, your glutes, your thighs, and your knees. And then again, a nice smooth inhale. And then exhale to soften your shins, your feet, your ankles, and your toes. And let each inhale and exhale here on out through the duration of your rest bring along with it awareness with your inhale and softness with your exhale. Awareness with your inhale without judgment, without negative thoughts. And softness with the exhale, without judging yourself for not being able to let go or getting mad about something is still tight, something is still tense, I still have these thoughts. That's fine. Let each breath focus your awareness back into your body with just a sense of being rather than fixing or doing. All right, so we're going to start to move just ever so gently with your fingers, your toes, your wrists, and your arms. And you can start to stretch out with a big inhale. Place your feet on the floor and feel your hips, feel your feet, feel your shoulders on the ground. A little grounding here. Coming back to reality, coming back to awareness. Stay as long as you'd like here. When you're ready, you can roll off to the side and come up to any comfortable position in a seated position. Again, feel your stack up, your line up here of your ears, shoulders and hips, head, heart, and pelvis. And just sitting for a moment, being aware of your body, how your body feels after your practice. The silence, the stillness that your practice created in your body, in your brain, in your mind, in your heart. The openness in your heart, the creativity. Notice those things that you built in your practice, that you worked on, that you expressed. And in the seat of your body, in your tail, in the root of your body, base of your spine, feel your strength, your confidence, your power. And feel how your mind, your body, and your soul connect here. 3 big breaths to connect them all together. Inhale, reach up, big stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Mind, with gratitude for your thoughts, your ability to think. Inhale, big stretch, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Your ability to love, forgive, and to accept. One more big inhale, reach up, stretch, and then pull it back into your heart for your body here. Gratitude for your body. All the things that you do for everyone and for yourself. Bow to all 3 of those things. Namaste. Thanks, yogis.